drag queen, well, perhaps you're gay. Is there a point to all these fancy clothes? With all these buckles from your head down to your toes? Very simple, but I'm just another girl. It's not so easy, but I'm giving it a whirl. Is there something that you're trying to prove? With all the makeup and the way you move, are you looking for some sympathy? No, I'm trying to be the best girl I can be. Simple, but I'm just another girl. It's not so easy, but I'm giving it a whirl. Like my martini stride, cosmos I won't deny. Smoke those long cigarettes. Thank God I'm not dead yet. Done all these crazy things, short of a wedding ring. Just
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Calista Solon, and this is nlcTrans. Tonight, obviously, we're up against the President's speech, so for the three of you that are watching us, thank you. I'm here with my usual co-host, Tara Alexander, and tonight we have a very special guest, Diana Lombardi, who has been with us before and will certainly be with us many times again in the future. And obviously, we want to talk a bit about upcoming legislation and lobby day and some of the stuff that's been going on. Obviously, there was the Judiciary Committee hearing, which we want to hear all about. And so, anyway, without further ado, let's. There are a bunch of things that I want to cover. I've got some news articles and things that I want to talk about in a bit. But tell us first about the Judiciary Committee hearing and how all that went.
It was a very long day. I was there from 8:30 in the morning till after 6 at night.
Wow.
And you have to go and draw a number from a basket. And my number was 147.
Oh.
Luckily, there was not 147 people in front of me, only something like 50.
Wow.
But we had very good turnout for people who spoke in favor of the bill. There was about maybe 20 people who spoke in favor, plus we had about another 20 or 30 testimonies that were submitted written. And we had somebody from the Human Rights Campaign that was there. We had a doctor of psychology who works at the Institute of Living in Hartford. We had testimony submitted from the somebody from New London who was a administrator of the Board of Ed, I think it was.
Oh, nice. We should probably make clear for the folks that are watching that we're talking about HB 6452, an act concerning discrimination. This is the bill before the Connecticut State Legislature to add gender identity and gender expression to the anti-discrimination laws.
Very good.
Yep. We forget those minor little details.
Yes, we know exactly what we're talking about. However, we have an audience that may not be able to get inside our heads exactly.
Right, and this was I actually had planned to go testify, and I got a bunch of information, some from you, in fact, saying basically, don't worry too hard about this. Go to lobby day, and I sort of. It was almost like, don't worry too much about this. We've got plenty of people testifying. You don't really need to do this. And so I wound up not going. But I think the idea was, obviously, this has made it out of the Judiciary Committee before, and it will again, and this probably wasn't a big issue. But
also, we didn't know what the opposition was going to be. So we were worried about how they were going to present their testimony. So we try to cut back on the number of people that testify. And for one thing, it makes it a very long day when you have a lot of people up there. And we had enough professional people and testimony from them that we felt that we're comfortable with those who testified. I had to testify for my class because part of my assignment, my homework assignment, was to testify before a legislative committee.
No
So,
kidding. Well,
yeah.
that's an interesting homework.
Yes, and I have to write a 5-page report on that.
Well, and you should explain what you're studying.
Well, I'm studying for my master's in social work.
Right.
So,
And that's where that comes
yeah,
in.
community organizing.
Very cool.
But, you know, the downside was it's a 5-page paper that's due tomorrow. And I
Due tomorrow,
yesterday.
yes. So we really appreciate you coming tonight to talk to us, even though we know you're going home to start writing your paper.
No, it's finished. I finished it yesterday. So, but the hearing, I thought went very well. There was 4 individuals who spoke against the bill. They mainly objected on religious grounds, and one of them didn't want government telling them what to do. And they also had an organization. They're testifying, the Family Institute of Connecticut.
Our friends.
Yes, and of course he
Our
was
friends
against
at
it.
the FIC.
Yeah, and so we kind of figured what he was going to say, and he basically kept to this script. He was against the bill, and he was also worrying about teachers.
Interesting, yeah. We don't want any transgender teachers because they're going to teach our kids how to be transgender. I watched an interesting film the other night called Milk.
Yes, yes.
And there was a line in there about that. Harvey Milk is talking, and he's about the possibility of gay teachers. And he says, "Oh, they're gonna teach this to our kids. What, like teaching French?" It's like you can't teach a kid to be transgender.
That's
This
right.
is crazy. But you can teach them to be open and accepting of
Right. Yeah.
everybody, which is a good thing.
That was actually part of my testimony, Milk.
Was it?
Yes, I said that, I don't know if you saw Milk, but back in 1978, what the opposition was using was about what it would do to our children. And then in Connecticut, 91, when the sexual orientation was added to the anti-discrimination bill, they said the same thing, the kids won't understand. And now they're using the same thing all over again with us.
Yeah,
You know, and it wasn't true then, and it's not true now.
There's a lot of things people say kids won't understand, and a lot of it is about the presentation, how you present the material, and how deep you get into it. You know, with young kids, you don't have to get into the whole surgery process. You just get into, you know, people are different, people are people.
Yeah.
Right.
And kids are surprising at how much they do understand.
Oh yeah, and actually at the True Colors conference, I was fortunate enough to talk to a early education educator. So she teaches teachers who teach young kids, and she's been working gay and lesbian material into her curriculum for a while now, and is now starting to focus on the bisexual and transgender material. And you know, it's one of the pieces of one of the books that she's used in the past when it comes to even gender stereotypes is talking about, you know, kids talk about little boys being sissies. You know, and it's not nice to call people names, et cetera, that, you know, Joey's just a little different. Now, this doesn't mean Joey's going to grow up to be gay or anything, but as a little kid, gets called a sissy. And it's only a hairline step over that to get into transgender issues. I mean, in a way, you're already talking about gender stereotypes and name calling.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it just has to be age appropriate.
It has to be age appropriate.
Sure. Yeah. Well, hopefully, you know,
Yeah.
things are going to get